From hitting 75,000 on a single shot, to causing massive explosions regardless of what build you're on, and to having a weapon you never need to reload. The new hand cannon from the Crota's End raid, the Word of Crota, is a PVE force to be reckoned with and has several god rolls depending on your build and your playstyle. The Word of Crota is a 180 RPM void hand cannon, and I know a lot of you saw that it's a 180 rather than a 140 and just stopped thinking about chasing it. But honestly, since the hand cannon buff this season, 180 hand cannons actually feel amazing in PvE now, and Word of Crota is probably the best legendary 180 I've ever used. Before I get into its amazing perk pool and all the juicy combinations you should be chasing or eventually crafting, I wanted to talk about the new origin trait that comes with all the Crota weapons, Cursed Thrall. With basically a melee kill, any final blow with the weapon for the next 7 seconds, whether it's a headshot or a body shot kill, will cause a Cursed Thrall explosion. Now this alone makes the Crota weapons pretty damn good for ad clear before even considering any other perk, especially if you're running a melee based build. This season as well we have the artifact perk, Origin Perk Specialization, which massively buffs the duration of Cursed Thrall from 7 seconds all the way to 14 seconds, making it much more viable in my eyes. But this isn't the only explosion you can achieve with this weapon. You can stack several other explosion types on this weapon thanks to its perk pool. We're actually going to start off with the second column of perks because there's 2 new perks that I wanted to discuss first, and they're both pretty strong. The first is Sword Logic, which grants bonus damage depending on how strong the enemy you kill is. So if you kill a red bar enemy, you get Sword Logic ×1. If you kill a major, you get ×2, which is stronger and lasts a bit longer. If you kill a mini boss, you get ×3, and then finally if you kill a boss, you get a ×4 bonus. Now the best thing about this perk is that even the larger stacks of Sword Logic can be refreshed by weaker enemies. Here I kill a mini boss, get a ×3 Sword Logic bonus, and then even killing the subsequent minor enemies is refreshing the ×3 perk. In terms of the actual values, ×1 Sword Logic is 15% damage bonus for 5 seconds, ×2 is 25% for 7 seconds, ×3 is 35% for 10 seconds, and then ×4 is 50% for 15 seconds. So if you compare this to Rampage, Swashbuckler, or Kill Clip, in my eyes this is one of the strongest damage perks we've gotten, especially if you're in an activity with mages and champions. The duration it lasts for and the ability for it to refresh regardless of the enemy type makes it extremely powerful in my eyes. The second perk I wanted to talk about in that second column is Precision Instrument. Precision Instrument makes your weapon deal more precision damage as you deal sustained damage. It goes from 1 stack all the way to 6 stacks, whereby 6 stacks is roughly a 25% damage increase. Anytime you stop dealing damage or you reload your weapon, it will take away all your stacks. Now there's one exotic setup that makes this perk really shine, allowing you to hit some crazy numbers with your primary weapon, Lucky Pants. The Lucky Pants Hunter build is super meta this season, especially with Malfeasance. Word of Crota essentially acts as a legendary substitute, allowing you to stack that 600% damage bonus from Lucky Pants alongside the 25% damage increase from Precision Instrument, resulting in some crazy damage numbers from a primary weapon. If you're looking for a legendary substitute from Malfeasance to pair with Lucky Pants, Word of Crota is your weapon. Other strong perks in that second column include Destabilizing Rounds, which causes a void explosion which spreads volatile. It's honestly pretty strong on any build, but if you're running any sort of void build alongside the Cursed Thrall explosion, you can cause some pretty big explosions and clear the battlefield. Adrenaline Junkie gives a stacking damage bonus on weapon kills, or if you get a grenade kill, it will give you a ×5 stack instantly, taking it to a 33.3% damage bonus. But the duration for this damage perk is only 4.5 seconds, so you can lose the buff pretty easily. Rampage gives a stacking damage bonus on kills, again all the way to 33% on just 3 stacks, but again the duration here is only for 4.5 seconds, which is way less forgiving than Sword Logic. Frenzy gives a flat 15% damage bonus alongside 100 reload and 100 handling when you're in combat for a sustained amount of time. As you can see, that second column is really stacked with very strong PvE perks, and there are very few bad perk options, so it's actually pretty hard to get a bad roll on this gun. The first column has some more familiar perk options here. Subsistence Subsistence is going to partially reload the magazine on weapon kills, and during my playthrough it was reloading the gun with 2 bullets for every kill. Honestly, on red bar enemies where I was one-shotting them with my hand cannon, you'll actually never need to reload with subsistence. It felt so nice. We also have Dragonfly in that first column, which causes void explosions on precision kills, which can stack with other explosion perks like Cursed Thrall or destabilizing rounds. Repulsive Brace is also there, which gives you an overshield on killing void debuffed enemies. Extremely potent in terms of improving your survivability, especially in a void based build. And if you combine it with destabilizing rounds, you're going to spread even more void debuff through Volatile to activate Repulsive Brace, sometimes even without using a void subclass. Finally, we also have Demolitionist, which is going to grant you grenade energy on kills, which is just a fantastic perk for any grenade based build. So there's some pretty powerful combinations here. Dragonfly with destabilizing rounds for those massive explosions everywhere, especially when you pair in Cursed Thrall as well. Dragonfly with sword logic for both explosions and a damage perk, making it a great weapon to take for both ad clear and some sustained damage. I also really enjoyed Dragonfly with precision instrument, so you have a perk for ad clear and you have a perk for stronger enemy damage, especially when using it with Lucky Pants. Demolitionist alongside Adrenaline Junkie is a tried and tested combo, which is great for grenade based builds. And then we also have Subsistence, which can be paired with destabilizing rounds, so you have both explosions and the ability to never have to reload. And finally, another combination I'd recommend is Repulsive Brace alongside destabilizing rounds. Destabilizing rounds is going to cause void explosions which spread Volatile, which means any subsequent kill you get on those debuffed enemies will trigger Repulsive Brace and give you constant overshields. Honestly, there's so many viable combinations here, and I could spend the next 2 or 3 minutes coming up with them. I'm probably going to have to craft 4 or 5 rolls here to keep for myself. So if that hasn't convinced you yet, start farming for Word of Crota from the raid, start getting those red borders so you can craft a god roll, or actually several god rolls in some cases. It's hands down the best void hand cannon for PvE we've ever gotten. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more weapon review videos for both PvE and PvP. I'm Mr. Ronnet, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.